Yo, 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 what's up, Sooner fans? This is your host from the Prairie that's still on the Prairie, Jeremiah Hall, formerly number 27 on the field, but always number 1 in your hearts. Here with me today, you know who it is, my right-hand man, number 9 on the field, our captain and fearless leader, the Brayden Weight Room Willie Willis. And this is the podcast on the Prairie. Brayden?
What's up, Jake?
Always hard to record after an L.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man. This weekend was like no other. We'll get to that here in a second, but like we always say on the podcast, positivity, ladies and gentlemen. Our job is to give you our perspective, not put our feelings on you. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna keep it pushing because that's all we can do. So, anyways, outside of football, is there something positive going on in your life? What you got going? Tell me something. What did your mom used to say? Thorns and roses.
Thorns and roses.
Yeah. So the game is our huge thorn, but we need a rose in there.
Rose. Let's see, man. Well, I was back in town to see my family, and that was always good. You know, got to spend a little time with them. They don't have to be on the road and all the hassles of, traveling and stuff like that. So it was good to see my family and everything. So I guess that'd be my rose.
To see the people.
Yep.
Yeah. That's what do they say at Thanksgiving? Say one thing you're grateful for. And that always brightens the mood. So Sooner Nation, if you're listening to our podcast, looking for solutions, looking for answers, and wondering what are we going to say about the game, I need you to find your rose. Find your one thing you're grateful for, because I don't know if this one podcast is going to change the way we all felt on Saturday as a fan, but I will say we can at least find one thing that we're grateful for. And I promise you, you'll smile after you say that thing out loud. The tight end and a fullback, a big part of our job on the field is protecting others. We have our moments, but most of the time we're doing the gritty work behind the scenes to help our teammates shine.
That sounds just like our friends at Plainview Legal Group. Haley and Travis Dennis are longtime property attorney experts who will work tirelessly for their clients. They fight hard and handle the nitty-gritty of your property issues so you can focus on life's other issues.
When you use Plainview Legal, you are working with die-hard Sooners. Haley and Travis have 5 degrees from the university, and Haley has even taught at OU's law school.
So whether you're being contacted by Oklahoma Turnpike Authority about acquiring your land or dealing with any other property issues, we highly encourage you to set up a free consultation with Plainview Legal Group.
You can go to their website at www.plainviewlegal.com. Give them a call at 405-310-0183 or email them at info@plainviewlegal.com. We're incredibly grateful for Plainview Legal for the support they give the show, so please check them out.
Please see the show notes of this episode for important disclaimer information.
All right. So my rose for this weekend is that I went shopping. Yes, I went shopping today.
All right.
I went shopping. I grabbed some more. I grabbed some business casual clothes because I got a meeting down in Dallas this week. So I'm like, you know what? I didn't bring any clothes like that out with me. So bought me something nice. I've realized ever since I've left OU that I don't have a lot of regular clothes. I think I was talking to Caleb about this the other day, but he's like, not 90, but probably about like 70% of my closet is still like athletic gear, whether it be from football, OU, the Senior Bowl, all types of stuff. So I need me some normal person wear, and got me some of that. So that's my rose. Also, I'm grateful because my grandparents stay in Lumberton, North Carolina, towards the East Coast. About an hour 13 away from the ocean, and they weren't harmed during the hurricane this weekend. So family's all good. Prayers out to Fort Myers, Florida, because that was crazy. For those of you who aren't in the loop on the weather, which I'm assuming most Oklahoma people are considering, but Hurricane Ian was the biggest hurricane to hit the state of Florida in the history of hurricanes. So I was looking at the footage on that, and it was scary. So I don't know if you saw any of it, but I know in one of the videos they put a camera 6 feet off the ground, and water was just rushing past it like it was candy, you know. So like I said, a lot of stuff going on down there. I tell people all the time, being from the East Coast, I'll choose a hurricane over a tornado any day. You can hop in a whip, hit 100, and outrun a tornado. Or no, what I say? I'll choose a tornado over a hurricane any day.
Okay,
yeah, that's the right saying. You can't outrun water, bro. Yeah, you can't outrun a hurricane. So, that's my rose, though. Grateful that my family is safe, and grateful that I got some clothes this weekend. Another thing that happened this weekend, that Hicks kid, the D lineman that was supposed to commit to OU, went to A&M. I remember us talking about that. Did you see that?
I did see that.
That sounds suspicious.
A little bit. I have my theories, but I mean, not my theories, but I saw theories, not mine, but I saw theories out there. Hey, you know, whatever the kid feels is best for him. You know, it's that process is a hard process. You know, as both you and I know, there's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye, and you know, it's just being an 18-year-old kid, you know, making decisions like that, man, it's always hard. So, you know, whatever, you know, he feels is best for him.
Yeah. I think one theory that I was told was that the kid was using both schools to, like, get the bigger NIL deal, if that makes sense. Like, he was wanting to go to A&M, but he was using OU to maybe get some more money under the table. Who knows? I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Which, I mean, technically, if we want to be real, it's a smart idea because he's leveraging his talent. You know, whether we want to believe it or not, when a kid is being recruited, you're basically recruiting a product, you know? And if the kid is looking at himself as a business, then why not negotiate the talents that you bring to the table? So whether it be OU or A&M, if he got some benefit out of it, then great for him. Obviously, I'd much rather see the talented guys at OU. However, still, the recruiting world that we're in this weekend. So, but we won't spend a lot of time on everybody else this weekend. I don't think our picks from last week's college football games were any good.
No, they weren't. I didn't even look.
Yeah, I don't think I looked either. I was just, honestly, bro, after the game, I was in distraught. So I don't even think I watched the Cardinals versus Baker game.
I mean, I watched NFL, but I didn't dare watch any college football yesterday.
Yeah. I literally, like, this was the first weekend. Like, I was just like, yo, like, I'm done for the day. Nobody bother me.
Yeah. We said Iowa over Michigan, right?
Yeah.
No, Michigan won 27-14. Did we say Ole Miss over Kentucky?
No.
We didn't? Oh, okay. I thought we might have said that one.
Well,
what else
I don't know if there were any upsets. I will say, bro, I have a lot more respect for fans now, because although y'all lost versus Kansas State, that was a different feel, and I was in person for that game, and I had a lot of stuff going on that day. But to be a fan, bro, especially during a tough game like that, you have a completely different perspective, bro. Because I used to be like, fans are fans, you know, like, you know, they don't really have an impact on the game, and you know, coaches always say stuff like, "Don't worry about the fans," this and that. But like, bro, as a fan, bro, we have genuine intentions for the team winning. Like, I understand there's some crazy people out there who comment this and that, and people say crazy stuff like BV isn't the one and all this other stuff we got going on Twitter. But
Right.
bro, there are some genuine people out here that just want to see OU win, bro. And I love when I get a chance to interact with the fans who have the same mindset as me on that, who don't have anything negatives to say about the team. Although I was talking smack about you getting hawked down, we still got positive stuff, we still got positive stuff to say, bro. Like, I'm really a diehard now. Like, win, lose, or draw, like I could care less. Like, I'm with the gang regardless, and I'm sure you'll understand what that feels like one day. But it's completely different. I don't think I can describe to you how I feel as a fan right now. But I know all you see is what's going on in the field. So just know we still rooting for you.
Appreciate you.
No problem. Brayden, you know how when you run a seam, you're supposed to run down the middle versus cover 2 and up the hashes versus cover 1 and 3, right?
Of course.
Well, what if I asked you about mortgages, interest rates, or buying homes?
I don't know as much about that.
Well, the good thing is you don't need to, because our sponsor of this episode, Matt McDaniel, has been helping people find the right loan for a long time. And he understands all types of loans, including loans with a low introductory rate that can be refinanced when rates improve.
To get in touch with Matt at McDaniel Mortgage Group, call 214-435-1988 or visit www.appwithmatt.com to get pre-qualified and find the best loan options for you.
And because there are more homes available to buy than in the past several months, you have more choices. Start your home search today with Phil and Thaleen Webb or one of their team members at Webb Properties Group. Call 405-322-5632, and they will be happy to send you a list of available homes in your price range.
Sooner Nation, you could be in your new home for the holidays. Let's make that dream a reality.
But let's talk about the game. Captain, leader, you know what? Just talk to me. What you got on your chest?
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, like we said last week, it's kind of spilt milk now, but we just weren't very good. There's nothing to beat around the bush about. We just weren't very good. We just didn't play good. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't look good, And so now I think it's the best time to, kind of search yourself as like individually, everybody as a team, but everybody individually, and look at, what's important to you, put all the ulterior motives aside, put all the selfishness aside, anything that could be possibly hindering us, it needs to go aside, and it needs to be, like we all need to be pushing towards the same goal, pushing towards the same thing. Like now more than ever, nothing else matters more than the team right now, So yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. But just, my general opinions on Saturday, we just, like I said, we didn't play well. We didn't play hard. We didn't play tough. I mean, we got out. Like, there's some words that I would like to say that I can't say on the air, but we got our tail whooped, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, So I challenged everybody in that locker room to find out who's really a dog, because, I feel like our manhood was getting tested right there, and some people responded, some people didn't, and if the effort and the intentionality and the physicalness and all that other stuff isn't there, then, we don't have a chance, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely get what you're saying. I remember after we lost the first game, last year after we took a L. I can't remember. It might have been the second, but as a leader, I was finding difficulty in trying to word things in a way that can make the rest of the team feel like what I want is just as important to everyone, not just the starters, not just the backups, but to everyone, to those who don't play as much, to the walk-ons, to the guys who want more playing time. Because when times start getting hard, I remember, especially as a young guy, back when red shirts and not playing the entire season was a thing. I remember sometimes thinking like, hey, I'm not even suiting up. Sometimes words were going through one ear and out the other.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I'm perfect by any means, because like I said, I did that. So even when I was in your position, I was like, man, like as a young guy who wasn't in and didn't really contribute as much to the team as everybody else, like how do I get that guy to hop on board? How do I get everybody else to feel the same thing I feel? Because I know for a fact, as a captain, as a fifth year guy, as someone who's looking to go to the NFL, you're like, man, like if only some of these guys felt how I felt, have done what I've done, see what I see. It's tough. And like you said, that's really when you find out what everyone is about. How hard can you focus when the weight of the world is on your shoulders, when things aren't going your way? However, I'd also like to say this is something that I tell myself whenever things are good, whenever I'm scoring 3 touchdowns, or whenever I'm having a terrible game. Things are never as bad as you may think, and things are never as good as you may think.
That's the rule. That's why did I say that last week? Maybe I said it. I think I might have said it in an interview. But watching film, man, it's never as bad as you think it is, and it's never as good as you think it is. So I completely agree with that. I just think the biggest thing for us right now is the football stuff is going to get corrected. We have a great coaching staff. We have, guys that put hours and hours, like talking about coaches and, all the support staff into putting together a good game plan for us. Right. So that stuff is going to get corrected from them to us. You know what I'm saying? The bust and MAs and stuff like that, that's going to be corrected. But the biggest thing I saw was just the heart, man. You know what I'm saying? You got, guys getting hurt, and then you just no response. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just the heart. And for me, it just seems like people are out there, like different teams are hungrier than us. They want it more than us, right? And I don't know why that's the case, because this team hasn't earned anything. Like we waltz in there like we're all big and bad because we have the OU logo on the side of our helmet, you know what I'm saying? And just act like that's going to win for us. But in reality, it's not. And now, you know what I'm saying, we got teams across the nation, people across the nation, you know what I'm saying, laughing at us, whatever the case may be. And now it comes to a point where I've told the guys, like we're the underdog in every fight now. You know what I'm saying? Like we I don't know why we're sitting up here walking into games like we're just so big and bad. Just because we have this logo on our helmet don't mean nothing. Like people do not respect us. You know what I'm saying? Especially right now. So like we need to walk into every game hungry and ready to put it all on the line. And I told the guys, I was like, I want you to dig real deep into yourself and find whatever makes you go for real. And like, let's get it going, because this is not something that I'm used to, and, nobody should be used to at the University of Oklahoma. So,
no, I completely get what you're saying. I think,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think the biggest thing is, this, I mean, every week is big, but, this week being OU Texas, this game has been known to literally turn around seasons. So I think this game right here is a big game because it's the next game, but it's a big game because it can restore confidence. It can restore, everything that we're lacking. Like, this is a big game, and you know better than anybody. I told the young guys in the room today, or like not in the room, everybody on the team. Like, this game, I don't care what rivalry you've been in. Whether it's Ohio State, Michigan, I don't care. Whatever game you think has been your most, craziest atmosphere, this and that, whatever the case would be, it has nothing on the OU Texas game. Now, that's a totally different game, and that game can literally turn around season, man. It did in 2020, so
yeah.
Now more than ever, we have to be detail oriented. We have to go in there with a mindset, to get better and to want to go out there and compete and, just be better at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to, cut and dry, like, simple. Like, we just got to be better.
Hey, Brayden, as you know, I'm in Ardmore right now. Do you know where I can find some mouth-watering tacos?
As a matter of fact, I do. Look no further than Ted's Tacos and Cantina, located off I-35, exit 32. This haven for classic and novelty Mexican eats is the perfect spot to stop for your lunch on the way to the Red River Showdown.
Man, you already know how that traffic is going to be. From loaded fries to enchiladas, there is something for everyone. Ted's Tacos and Cantina offers daily, that's right, daily happy hour specials and weekly Taco Tuesday deals. I was looking at the menu right before this, and I'm already planning how I'm going to build my burrito when I go in.
All right, let's go ahead and finish this because I'm getting hungry. But to everyone headed to the Red River Showdown this weekend, stop on by Ted's Taco and Cantina off I-35, exit 32 on your way. And be sure to tell you Jeremiah and I sent you.
That's right, Jay Heezy. Visit Ted'sTacoCantina.com for more information. And remember, that's Ted's Tacos and Cantina, an Oklahoma company. Huge shout out to them for sponsoring the pod. I think that the events that have taken place over the past 2 weeks, this weekend and last weekend, I was talking to somebody and they mentioned I don't want to go back to the past or anything, but I feel like as OU fans, we need to reflect on this a little bit. But they told me Lincoln said multiple times winning in the Big 12 is hard. And I think that the fans and, well, not all the fans, but some of the fans, some of the, the announcers and stuff like that failed to realize how hard it is to win in the Big 12. People think that just because we have all these Big 12 championships in a row, we have Brent Venables, all that means nothing. The work still has to be done. Right. It's not like, oh, we have all these things and we just show up and just because we got the talent, we gonna roll over everybody. What? Let's look at this real quick, right? So like, let's just look at my journey as a quick example, right? So I'm a 3-star out of Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the average for the Kansas State team, for the lesser teams in the Big 12, the some of TCU, half of Iowa State, guys like me, the middle guys. And then you got, Oklahoma, the supposed 4 stars and, a couple of 5 stars. Texas got some athletes, just because we have these pieces, that doesn't mean it just all comes together. Cause I was the 3-star from the lesser recruit that ended up becoming the captain and the guy who's willing to outwork the person, the 5-star that's not willing to put in the work. These are the type of guys that we're playing against. Guys like yourself, shoot, the underdog. You know what I'm saying? That's what these teams are filled with, guys with our stories. So it doesn't just fall into place, and I don't want to I don't want to sit here and say that we're all stuck on the past or we're all stuck on these expectations or whatever, but I just feel like the fans, the people who are listening need to know that the people that we're playing, they're going to fight, and it's up to, like you said, the rest of the team to realize that it's not easy. One thing that I always notice with a dynasty, and you can tell me your thoughts on this, is when you're winning national championships, when you're winning state championships in high school, it always becomes harder, especially after like the second or the third time in a row. Because then you start to get in guys who don't know what it's like to lose prior to the win streak, right?
Right.
So, for example, when I first got to OU, we were on a national champion. We were on a Big 12 title run. But I was still kind of there at the beginning, I guess you would say. Like, I understood from the older guys, like Dimitri, he would always tell me, like, hey, this is what we were doing when we were 8-5. This is what it takes to win. And I learned from all of that. Now we're in a point in OU history where the freshmen don't know what it's like to lose. They all got blings and rings on their fingers. The sophomores don't know what it's like to lose. Honestly, I don't know what it's like to lose, but I just learned from the older guys what it was like. And so that's what I mean when I say everybody has to come along. So that's food for thought for the fans to think about. They're not excuses, but
not at all.
Let's understand that stuff doesn't just happen.
Yeah,
but, Brayden, let's talk a little bit about the game for a second.
Okay.
DG, let's just outside of all the blown assignments and all that other stuff that we can talk about that's football related, how much did you guys seeing him on the ground impact the team? Or did you think that it had an impact? What was going through your thoughts during that time?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it impacted me, you know what I'm saying, as a person, that's close with DG and has a great relationship with them, you know what I'm saying. They got me ready to go. But that's kind of what I was talking about in terms of, we got to have more dogs, man. We got to have more guys like that right there, seeing your quarterback on the ground should have immediately fired up everybody, and I just really wasn't feeling that, So, it's tough, but there has to be a change there. And we've addressed it, and but there's got to be a change there, like that's as bad as it get. And, to have no reaction behind your quarterback laying on the ground like that, that's unacceptable. So,
yeah, I remember, and you can take this however way you want, but I remember when we were having a tough time last year, one thing Lincoln said was, our leaders have to lead from the front, meaning they have to make plays.
Right.
Do you think that your leaders, the older guys, Deshaun, Marv, do you think that you guys have done a consistent job of leading the team, or do you think there needs to be more? Or what do you think from that aspect, the senior guys? Is there anything you want to touch on in there?
Man, yeah, it needs to be more leadership. Seems like, the same few guys are speaking, but it's starting to come around. Like we had a meeting, and, more guys are speaking up and stuff like that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I just think everybody needs to be on. Like I said, it comes back to the same point for me, Like, I don't understand why there is such a, like you said, like a kind of entitlement to like to winning, It's like we waltz in there with the OU on our helmet, like I said, and just expect people to lay down. But me and you both know from experience that actually is a big old target. Like, it's like people like young guys look at that and see that, like, they think that people are going to lay down when they see that. But like, most people see that as a big old target. Like, that's a bullseye. Oh, I'm
They
finna,
come
you know
hungry.
what I'm saying? That's a Super Bowl right there. You know what I'm saying? We could beat them, you know? So, I just think that everybody has to come hungrier, man. You know, I think that there can't be any hesitation. You know, I think that guys got to go out there and there can't be any hesitation to make a play. You know, there can't be any hesitation to, you know what I'm saying, show emotion, get fired up, you know what I'm saying, lead, you know, from everybody. And it just can't be the same 1, 2, 3, you know, 4 guys or whatever that's doing it. It has to be from everybody, you know, and that's the only way I feel like we're going to get on pace is when the whole team gets on the same mind frame in terms of that, then we'll get back on pace, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do it because people always look for answer, you know, when things are going wrong. And sometimes there isn't an answer. You know, sometimes you just didn't do your job. You know, that's something that I would always tell my mom after like a bad game or after we had a hard time after a loss last year. She'd say, like, how do you feel about the team losing? And I'm very straightforward about winning and losing. You either do your job or you don't do your job. It's very simple. Like most fans want an explanation, and we spend 30, 40 minutes on here talking about football and try and give them the best perspective that we can. But when it comes down to me and somebody asking me what I think, it's very simple. I can answer it in 5 seconds. You do your job or you don't do your job. It's that simple. I'd like to take
you either want it or you don't.
What'd you say? Go ahead.
I say you either want it or you don't, you know?
Yeah. Like there's really no in between. But where are we lacking at, right? And once again, I don't expect you to respond on this, but I wrote down some notes. I went back and watched the game, right? And these are some things that I saw. So let's start with the defense, right? So honestly, there were about 3 touchdowns that for sure should have been prevented. The first one, JD got bullied on the fade ball. That's just football. You know, he has the height. He doesn't have the height advantage. The other receiver, I forget his name. It's the one with the dreads. He's a baller. He's going to be a 1st or 2nd round pick. You can't really do too much about that. Honestly, I blame that on the coaches for leaving JD out there. After, I'm not going to lie, JD got torched by the same receiver last year. So from a coach's perspective, either you change the matchup or you have that much trust in your guy to leave him out there. No diss on JD. These are just the facts. So unavoidable. Football happens. However, let's look on down the line, right? So blown assignment in the secondary by I'm assuming it was Justin Fields on the first one. Then we got a blown assignment by Danny on the QB option. QB pulls the ball and goes for like 50 yards or something like that. Honest, I don't want to call it a blown assignment because he was there, but Danny's eyes were off. And honestly, I think he still should have made the tackle. It is what it is though. Young guy, still learning. The pass interferences, we gotta get better there. Like I understand giving up 1 a game when, you know, just in dire situations, but at this point it's becoming consistent. You know, at this point it's turning into a habit, not just a once a game or every now and then occurrence. Let's see. Oh, the DBs playing 8 yards off the ball when it's like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. They're getting out the quick screens and, you know, small stuff like that. You know, we're not playing smooth at all. Everything is hickey jerky. Not everything, because I don't want to make things any worse than where they are, but it looks like a lot of nine-man football. You know, the same thing on offense. Here's what I have on offense. The offensive line, their communication, this is probably the worst I've ever seen the offensive line communicate in a while. TCU wasn't rushing any more than 4, maybe 5 guys. I'm not gonna lie. From an Oleo's perspective in college football, that's pretty light work. Like it's Mike right, Mike left. I know you guys are still running the same protective scheme, even odd. Bill Bedenbaugh's protections are one of some of the simplest in football, and they work. And the TCU wasn't really bringing the heat like that, except for a few plays. You know, they were doing twists, they were playing games, but 4 against 5, all 5 offensive linemen, 4 blitzing. We got to clean that up. A couple other things, and then I'll let you pitch in. DG's throws before he came out the game. We saw a glimpse of it last week, a little bit of it the week prior, but this week the overthrows were super consistent. I think I counted more than 5, more than 6, 3 or 4 of those to Marvin. I know 1 for sure to you, 1 to Drake. I think he'll get that right. Honestly, I know we know DG, you know DG. I think he'll work to get that right. I'm not concerned about that. Lastly, one other thing I saw, I think one time you guys ran outside zone. I think it was to the boundary. I know it was to TCU sideline, but I was watching Antoine one play, and the defensive end hit inside. So I know his rules are to keep tracking, but he tracked all the way to the safety that was 10 plus yards off the ball, 8 plus yards away from the line of scrimmage. And he chased the safety instead of looking back inside to the linebacker flowing. And ultimately, the linebacker ended up making the tackle for a run that should have been at least 5 plus yards. So it's little things like that happen that happened throughout the game. Like it was just 2 guys, 1 guy, DG's overthrowing Marvin all game, and then Marvin gets one in the pocket. Yeah, it's a contested catch, but we know Marvin can make it. So it's the plays are there, the opportunities are there. We just gotta put it all together. I like I said, I say we, but it's really y'all. But I still feel like I'm there, so I'm gonna keep on saying we. So, but anyways, man, that's the Bullfrogs breakdown. We might need to make that a segment, Bullfrogs breakdown. So, I honestly got a whole lot more notes, man, but I can't sit here and just keep going on and on. It's up to you guys. Mm-hmm. So, looking forward to the Texas game. I hope Aaron Judge hits his 62nd or 63rd home run, whatever it is by then, because bro, I don't know if you heard, but they kept going back and forth between that and the game.
They've still been doing it. They've been doing it all day today too. It's ridiculous. Like, go ahead and hit it so he can move on. Lord.
I'm like, bro, if somebody don't lob him the ball, because I think he struck out like 8 times. Like it's bad luck. That's what it is. I know he's probably tired of it.
Right. No doubt.
Sheesh. I will say special teams did look a lot better. Specifically kickoff return. I think y'all averaged like 30 plus coming out, something like that.
Yeah.
Special teams did look better. Punt looked good. Punt return looked pretty good. Special teams is cleaned up. So that's one of the positives I have. Wrapping things up, man. I saw the tweet from the OU football page, but you got an update for us on Damon Harmon? Anything that you could tell us?
Yeah, got to be very, limited on what I could say. But, like the tweet says, man, he's good. He's in our care now. He's back home with us, and he's doing good. He's not trending in a bad direction. So, he's trending upwards, and we're happy that, his mind is right. You know what I'm saying? He has a good mindset about it. He's trending up. He's getting healthier. You know what I'm saying? So we're just glad he's okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he's okay, because I've had a few moments like that myself where it gets scary, because my sophomore year of high school, I got a concussion similar to DG. I knew DG was unconscious immediately, because your feet and your your hands, they go
limp. Yeah.
And you can see that. And I think Texas in 2020, I cut a guy and I hurt my neck. Similar to probably what Damon felt, honestly, because he looked about the same. Like he could still move, but what he's probably dealing with is some nerve issues. That's the same thing I dealt with. But I don't know. Me and Brayden didn't talk about this off of air. These are just my experiences. But like you said, I'm glad things aren't trending in a negative direction and that our guys are going to be okay. Yeah. So, Sooner Nation, fear not. Things are okay in Norman. Look, man, they can't get, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I can only give you my perspective, but I will say I'm looking forward to this weekend. Beat Texas. That's the next one. You see the hat. It's my favorite one. You got to get you one.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. You know, I'm excited, man. You know, we got a lot of stuff to clean up, but I think we're trending in the right direction. And you know, you got a team that you don't really have too much to lose anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to go out there and just, you know, put it all on the line every week. That's the biggest thing. Go put it all on the line. You can't hold nothing back. You know. So
if you can't get hyped for this one, then I don't even know why you committed to OU in the first place. Because what?
Man, I'm
excited. My first one as a fan. Not excited about I got to wake up at 5:30 in the morning just to go get some good parking and get in the fair. But I'm excited for the experience. I've never been. So looking forward to it. I'm going to see if I can slide to the sidelines. Right now I'm sitting on the 50, but I'm a little higher up than what I want to be, what Jay Hall is used to. So
yeah,
I gotta finagle my way down there. Hey, pray I don't fight somebody, bro, because I swear, bro, if somebody come wrong, it's going down.
Yeah, I know it.
If I hear any number 9 slander, I'm losing it.
Oh man. Well, I'm a you know, hopefully do enough where you don't have to hear nothing like that. So
hey, you want to hurdle somebody this game?
Yeah, I got to. This is J Hall. I got to pull a J Hall special. You know what I'm saying? I got to go into the game. I'm going to go into the game like I'm going to hurdle someone. That's how you got to be. Bro, like we've talked about this. We've talked about this. You got that. A hurdle is one thing that you just go into the game and like, I'm just gonna hurdle someone this game. Like this is not like the hurdle is not like a juke or like a little like, you know, side step or like a little cut or nothing like that. Like a hurdle is such like a concerted effort before the game. Like I'm going to hurdle someone. I'm going to hurdle someone. And then it happens.
I told you that's what I did last year. And granted, I didn't land, but it looked cool.
It did look cool. It did look cool. I got you. I got to carry on the tradition.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Sooner Nation, that is all we have for this episode of the podcast. We can't unscramble scrambled eggs. Let's not beat a dead horse. We're not worried about anybody else committing. We're worried about this game and this game only because we going to ride. We going to ride regardless. And we going to show up down there and we going to cook some Texas booty. All right. Brayden, you got anything left for the people?
Yeah, man. Just, just show up and show out for us, man. And we'll see y'all down there Saturday.
All right, y'all.